In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Amplisound's new Hellrazer virtual guitar, and I'm going to be telling you how you can get your hands on a full Amplisound license of your choice in our giveaway. Woohoo! Hi folks, I'm Mike and I hope you're well. So Amplisound have recently released their new Hellrazer 9-string virtual guitar, and to celebrate the release of that virtual instrument, they have given me 3 full licenses to give away to you guys. Winner's choice, meaning if you happen to be one of the lucky winners, you get to pick from their full catalogue of electric, acoustic and bass guitars for your choice of a prize. So stick around to the end of the video to find out how you can enter for that awesome draw. But first of all, let's take a quick look at this new product, Hellrazer. So regular viewers to my channel will know that whenever I try out a new virtual instrument, I like to put together a little demo so that I can see how it sounds in the context of a real piece of music. And I've attempted to do that for you today, but I must emphasize it's just an attempt, because this particular guitar is based on a genre of music which I'm really not used to writing for whatsoever, so I felt kind of out in my depth. But if you want to stick around and hear that demo and make fun of an aging YouTuber trying his hand at metal guitar, then do stick around for that. It's bound to be absolutely joyous. Now, let's take a look at this guitar. This guitar is a 9-string guitar based upon the Schecter Hellrazer 9-string guitar. Now, you may ask yourself, why would I want a 9-string guitar? Isn't 6 enough? 6 is the normal, by the way, just in case you didn't know that. Well, somebody decided it wasn't enough. In fact, they decided they didn't want that low E string to be the lowest string that you get on a guitar. They wanted lower notes than that. So let's have a listen to that regular low E string, which is played here. Somebody thought, hey, that's just not low enough. So they added 3 extra strings, not so they could go a whole octave down from that E, but even further than that, all the way down to the C sharp down below that, and it sounds like this on this lower string. Now, if you play a lot of very, very low notes like that, it's bound to sound rather sort of deathly, I would say. So I'm guessing that's why they added these extra strings, and it really does change the sound of the guitar down there. So let's have a look at the general interface here. What I love about this interface is that it's very, very similar to all of the other Amplisound products. Ever since they went to version 3 of their engine, they've had this kind of interface. And what that means is that if you have one of their products already and you get another one, that you're going to be into it right away. You're not going to be fumbling around with instructions, figuring out how to do things, because everything is very, very similar from one instrument to another. And the basic approach is, of course, you would play the notes on your keyboard. By the way, this particular keyboard is the one that I'm using at the moment, but you can change this to a traditional look of a piano keyboard and some other options. So you play the notes on the keyboard, and then you use key switches all the way down the bottom here. You can see these down here, and they enable you to get different articulations on the guitar. Now, what do I mean by articulations? Those are things like the sort of regular sustained sound of the guitar, palm mutes, or the sort of muted sound, harmonics, slide-ins, all of that kind of stuff. You can also get different sounds just from the velocity if you're playing this on a keyboard. So if you just play the note really, really softly, you get a muted sound. Somewhere in between, you get your regular sustained sound. And if you play it really, really hard, then you get a harmonic sound as well. So it's really pretty easy once you get used to this to get all of the different sounds that you get from a regular guitar. And that's what makes the difference. That's what makes it sound kind of authentic. Of course, you've got string bends, which you can do on your keyboard in the regular way with the wheel, and you've also got the ability to do vibrato using the other wheel on your keyboard as well. And this interface also has a few mixer controls, enabling you to mix the sort of amp sound with the DI sound. It also has a doubling feature. Now, doubling is a very, very common technique which we use when we record guitars to make a sort of a duplicate of the guitar sound, usually in a left and a right channel, and that makes it sound really wide. That feature is built into Amplisound guitars, so you get that right out of the box, so you don't have to create other tracks for that. And also you have some mixer controls to mix in your sort of effects sounds and things like that. Now, moving on from there, just to give you this very quick overview, the next thing we have up here is the Riffer view. Now, Riffer's been in Amplisound for quite a while now, and it's really developed a lot recently. What this really is a guitar alternative to a piano roll that you would normally see in your DAW. The piano rolls can be great, but it may not be that intuitive, especially if you're a guitarist. So the way it works is you have your different lines here, and each one of those lines represents a string on the guitar. And of course, this one has 9 lines there, and you've got another line here, which is to control the effects. And you can see the different notes here, and you can see the length of the note there affects the duration, of course. And then as you insert each note, you can select different articulations for that note, etc. Let's have a quick listen playing this little part here from the Riffer, because it probably gives a better representation of how this guitar is supposed to sound in comparison to my demo, which you're going to hear later. Let's have a listen. Yeah. Awesome stuff. So moving on from the Riffer, next up, again, this is common to all of the Amplisound plugins. We have the tab view as well. This is where you can import tab, and then you can play it here from within the plugin. So let's have a listen to some tab being played here. This is called Welcome to Metal Guitar. Ooh, sounds enticing. Let's have a listen. Great stuff. So moving on from there, then we have the amplifier section, which is a really good part of Amplisound guitars, where they don't just give you the guitar sound, but they actually have some built-in amp sims. And new with this particular plugin, there is a new amp head here. This is the double metal head, and this is really, really suitable for the kind of sound that you would be going for with a guitar like this, as its name suggests. Scrolling through, we've got the usual amps that we've had with other Amplisound guitars, and if you try those out, you're going to find that with this guitar you can get some really different sounds, not perhaps the sound that you expect to get from this guitar. I would definitely give it a go with some much cleaner sounds as well, because I think it could be really useful for that. So moving on through, you can see all the amplifiers there. We also have a section where you can select different cabinets, and also you can select different microphones, and then you can use the mixer section here to mix all of that in, meaning that you can get an awful lot of variation in the sound with these guitars. Now moving on from there, we finally have the effects section. Starting off, we'll look at the compressor here, which is a very simple, straightforward compressor, easy to use, very, very handy indeed. Then we have a nice straightforward EQ as well. So this means that you're not going to be adding lots of plugins in your signal chain after you use these instruments. Also, we have the echo section. I tend to think of this more as a delay, and this is really awesome. Not going to go into it now, but check it out. It's very, very nice, the effects you get here. And then finally, we have a reverb, or as I'm known to say, reverb. Which is it? Reverb or reverb? Let me know in the comments, and be kind, okay? Now, this is a very quick overview of this guitar, I have to say. There's a few more options here, lots of different things that you can change just to tailor it to your needs, but that's a very quick overview. So now we're going to have a quick listen to that demo I made. And remember, be kind. So I'm sure you would like to know how you can get your hands on one of these 3 full licenses which I'm giving away to celebrate the release of this new plugin. Well, it couldn't be easier to enter. All you have to do is follow the link in the description, and that will take you to a forum topic on my webpage. All you have to do there is tell me which is your favorite Amplisound product and why. Now, if you're not sure, head over to Amplisound and take a look at their product range. It's really big. It includes acoustic guitars, electric guitars, and bass guitars. So really awesome stuff there. Now, while you're there in my forums, do make sure you say hi and introduce yourself and ask a few questions. This is a brand new forum just released this week, so I'd love for you guys to take part in that and get a little bit of a community going. Now, I will be announcing the winners of this competition in a live show on this channel in a couple of weeks or so. Now, if you want to make sure you get to see that live show or its replay, do make sure you subscribe here on YouTube and ring the bell so that they notify you about that video and other videos on my channel. And I will see you in the next video.